One of the bigger things that I was talking to somebody about the other day was the average person that's going to invest with us at Bell Capital, um, who's the right investor. They have a great business, they have the money, and realistically, they just don't have the time. That's the biggest part. That's the biggest challenge you're going to have with any of the real estate that we look at for Bell Capital is your time. Like the other day, we ended up going to 500 apartments. And then yesterday we end up going to another 600 apartments. The situation with that is that if you can't get out there, there's a couple of things I wrote down that you got to know. Like one, number one, you have to know the location. How the property feel when you drive up. Like when we drive up on a property, I'm like, dude, I like this or I don't. Like, period, end of story. There's a feeling that I get when I pull up to a property because that's what you're looking for. Like there has to be some magic to the deal, right? Because it's not just you, it's for other people who live there. You have to love it. They have to love it. This is an investment. We're going to take our money, our hard-earned money, we're going to put it there. But if you don't have the time to do that, you got to look at a lot of properties. Like in a month, I'll probably look at about 100 deals. Whether I'm driving to them, we're looking online, deals are getting presented to me, just getting on a broker's list to get some of these assets because they're not on the market. You're not going to just Google them and find them. That's not how it works. You have to know what you're looking at. And if you don't have the time to do it, man, that's going to be the number one challenge it's going to be for most investors. So the right person that's going to invest with us, we know that they have the money, they don't have the time, or they don't have the experience or the knowledge, and they really don't want to learn. Like they're busy running their business, making money, taking care of their family. That's the difference. So for us, again, knowing the location, like when we pull up on a deal, like one of the properties I went to, it was a 200 unit deal, beautiful property, great location in Irvine. Beautiful property. When I pulled up on the property, I loved it. And then when I started walking around, planes were flying over the whole time. It's right next to John Wayne Airport. And it was like, who wants to live in this place where you constantly have planes flying over you? Now, I'm not talking about like quietly in the distance. I'm talking about, mess up my video while I'm shooting and recording it, loud stuff. But you got to know that. You don't know that if you just look at a brochure, you just look at what the broker sends you, you just go through the deal room, you go, cool, great location. This is sick. It's probably a 99% walk score for everything. Everything around it makes sense. But you don't know that unless you can get to these deals, right? So how does the property feel when you get there, knowing the location because you actually physically walk that property? That takes time. I mean, that day I think I was gone for like 6 hours walking these 500 units over time, and then the next day did it all over again for the other ones. So because that's really what this takes. You can't run this business. This is a business, guys. It's like buying a business, buying multifamily real estate, investing your money in multifamily real estate is buying an active operating business. And what happens for most businesses? Starbucks, best location. McDonald's, best location. The Catholic Church, best locations. They're everywhere. So you got to get out there and be able to see the locations. They matter. Like I said, first, and then next, how does the property feel when you walk onto it? That's important. When you drive up to it, when you pull up to it, do people look happy? How are the cars that are there? That all tells what the residents that live there. That all tells like what are they thinking when they pull up? Because you're going to make an investment in this deal and you're going to be in it for 7, 10, 20 years with us, right? That's my job. That's what I get paid to do is to pick the right location, the right asset. And then the other piece you want to know where you're investing in a deal, like I said, that's the challenge at the time, is talking to the brokers, figuring out like asking the right questions. The other biggest problem you're going to have, aside from your time, if you're going to try to go do this by yourself, is just getting a broker to call you back. Just getting these guys to take the time because one, they don't know you, they don't know if you're real. And if you call them and just like, yeah, I got a great business and I got a ton of money and I'm looking for a property, they're not going to really deal with you. Like these people are very guarded, very sophisticated. They know what they're doing, and you got to know what to ask. So when you're thinking about a property and you're talking about, what we do here is like, why are they selling right now? Now is not the best time to enter the market to sell. So being able to ask the right questions, say the right things to the brokers, and build these relationships that matters. So a lot of our investors, man, they don't have it. They're busy doing other things. Like I said, running their business, driving up their revenue, dealing with their tenants, their family. I'm dealing with their business, their employees and their family. That's more important, right? Next, you got to know the market if you're looking at these deals. So these are the things that we look at. Like Irvine is a different market than Long Beach, and Long Beach is a different market than Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills is a different market than Mission Valley in San Diego County. Chula Vista is a different market than Encinitas. Like you have to know all these different markets if you're going to be in San Diego or moving all the way up to LA and Orange County and Irvine. Like you have to know the markets. And the other piece to that is there's markets inside of markets, right? Like if you're on one side, like if you're in Mission Bay or Mission Valley. Like if you're in Mission Valley, you start moving over to like Mission Beach, you start moving over to Ocean Beach, you're in North Hill, you're in North, you know what I'm saying, North Park, you move up to Hillcrest. Like these different just moving like less than a mile away can decide whether your property and the residents that live there are going to pay $2,000 a month or $4,000 a month. And you need to know that. But you don't know that if you don't know the markets, and you can't know that if you don't have time. This thing takes time. That's why I always tell people, look, the best person that's going to invest with us at Bell Capital is going to be like, look, I have the money, I don't have the time. We'd rather just let you do it because we know that you do this full time. You are paying attention to everything that is required to make the right investment, especially when you're investing your hard-earned money, man, because we work our ass off for money to grow our revenues in our companies, to take care of our families, and nobody wants to lose their money, period, right? So, next thing, like I was talking about, was like, who's the buyer? These are questions like you have to figure this out, but you don't know this unless you know, no, period. That's what this takes. And then the other thing is like, who's the competitors? Like, for example, one of the deals that we looked at, just walking the property, like looking across the street, there's a brand new complex being built. It's probably not going to be delivered until maybe 27, right? Into 26, 27. But it's like you have to know that because they are the competition in the marketplace. Now, is it good? Competition in some places is good because I know it's going to cost at least for that property somewhere around eight or $900,000 in replacement costs just at the deal we were looking at, the 200 unit. The one across the street's probably costing about the same 900,000. But if we can get access to the other property, the 200 unit, for half of that, 400,000, 450, 440, 475, whatever. And the new one across the street has to build at somewhere around eight or 900,000 a door. It has to pencil. The rents are going to get a lift because of the competition next door. Somebody's going to want to, I mean, literally, it's less than 100 yards away from this property. So people that still want that zip code, that neighborhood, literally on the same street, yeah, there's going to be better amenities, but I mean, the rents are the same. It's like you're going to get paid the same amount of rents, and people are going to have a choice now, which is a good thing, right? They're going to drive traffic, they're going to drive marketing. It's going to lower the marketing budget and cost over at this one property, even though it's 97% occupied. All of that matters when we think about competition. But again, you don't know this unless you're boots on the ground, driving properties, you're out doing the job every day. And very few people have the time to do that, which we do, right? We do that for our investors. Find the deals, fund the deals, manage the management company, and then make the distributions and take care of our investors because in that situation you're the partner. So I wanted to share this with you guys and kind of really talk about what's the biggest challenge you're going to have. Number one, it's going to be time. That's the biggest challenge in this business. You got to find the right deal. You got to be in the right location, the right asset. You got to know the players. You got to have the right relationships. And you cannot do that from a spreadsheet, from your laptop, from the computer. Like it's just not, it's gonna take time. Can you do it? Absolutely. Do you want to spend the time to do it? Probably not. Keep the main thing to maintain by main thing by focusing on generating more money in your business, more revenue, more money in your job, and invest that money and have that money work hard for you as you did for it. And then you keep the main thing by going off to make more money and have your money make babies. So I wanted to share that with you. About like that was my thought. I was just like, dude, like people need to understand how much work really goes into this. 6 hours. I can do this again today. I can take off, go to properties today, jump in the car, meet the brokers, talk to the property management companies, take a look at what's going on, get back with my team. What do we like? What do we not like? Get the debt sized up, go over the debt, sit down with everybody, and really figure this out. You don't have time for that. You don't. I mean, it's just impossible for you to do everything, and you shouldn't do everything. You should make the investment, period, and let your money ride on the right deal in the right location at the right time. And let me tell you guys, now's the time. All right. So I hope that helps you guys. Look, if you're like that, if you're an investor, you're like, look, I'm busy running my business, working my 9 to 5, making and taking care of myself, taking care of my family, making contributions to my church. I just want to invest. And I don't want the headaches, Vic. Like for me, I don't want drama in my investments. I want the right deal, long periods of time, cash flow, appreciation, tax benefits, and I want to just be able to put my head on a pillow and rest, and I know that I'm going to get my returns on my money, and at the end of that deal, double or triple my money. Like that's the game. But you can't do that unless you're doing this thing. All right. So if you need our help, go to bell-capital.com. You can do two things there. One, you got to be accredited. Two, you got to have a great attitude. You can schedule a call. That's one thing you can do. Or you can hit get started, get more information, register your free account. You can take a look at the documents. You can do your due diligence. You can see our open fund. You can find out what's going on with us. We're here for you. We're here to answer all of your questions. If you have questions about the investment, can you invest through your IRA, 401k? Should you convert? How much you should invest? Again, we're here to help you guys. We are, and I want to partner with you. So I hope this helps. Again, give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. Don't be a hater and a hider. Where are you at on this? Do you have a lot of money and no time? Or are you trying to do this yourself and you like showing up and you appreciate what I'm sharing with you because this information is going to help? Everyone's got to do this. Whether you do it with me or you do it with somebody else. Period. End of story. It's all the same amount of work and it's a lot of work. Don't negate it. But if there's a lot of benefit for you creating wealth for your family in the future, everybody should be doing this, period. And I want to help you, the everyday investor, instead of going to institutions, get invested in these great assets that we're looking at. So that way I can partner with you guys. I can help. I can send you and your family money every month. That's my goal. All right. So again, let me